everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know, go right down here. Yes, look in your settings, look around, find your subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell too, so you know when I'm up, when I upload. I get it out in a minute. You'll know when I upload or when I just want to pop in and give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, that beast, that algorithm. It has me by my neck and continues to drag me up and down these internet streets. I kid you not. And right about here, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so grateful for that support. Also, if you want to do a one time donation, our super thanks button is right over there. All donations to this channel is always greatly appreciated. All right, I have some shout outs. I have some announcements. I do. I want to give a shout out to Deborah Copeland, who is such a great supporter of this channel. And I'm so grateful for her. And thank you, Deborah, for the super thanks. I want to shout out Annette Sweat, who is another great supporter of this channel. So blessed to have her. Thank you, Annette, for the super thanks. And baby sis doll, another great supporter of this channel. I am so grateful and so thankful to have her. Thank you, baby sis doll. Ugh, I am so lucky. I am so lucky. And I also have an announcement. I have a new channel member. I do. Her name is Diane Hawkins. Diane, thank you for deciding to become a part of the reading club and just seeing something in my channel saying that you want to support it. It means everything to me. And because you are now an official member of the reading club, you can go over to the community page and your official welcome will be posted over there. And everybody, when you get the opportunity, go over to the community page and show Diane some love because I cannot tell you how happy and how grateful I am to have her as a part of the reading club. I am thrilled. All right, with all that said, let's get to the read, y'all, because of course, y'all know we have a lot. We have a lot because I be digging around in these internet streets. And when I put the read together, of course, I am in these internet streets, up, down, all around, looking around corners, looking in windows, picking up rocks, seeing if anything written on the bottom of them. I am all over these internet streets trying to figure out what the squatties are talking about. And of course, I was over to Instagram. And the squatties over to Instagram is just talking about everything. But there a lot of them are talking about Harry dropping, well, not necessarily Harry, but Netflix dropping this promo for polo. And everybody's excited about that and talking about that. And we're going to talk about it too. And then I eased on over to TikTok. It's still a lot of political stuff going on over at TikTok, but I'm telling you, people are just going in on William and Kate and Charles and Camilla. I mean, they are really going in on them. And especially this whole thing with Kate and Sophie trying to say that they somehow befriended Meghan. Like we didn't see what we saw, but that's a lot of that is going on over to TikTok. I saw several posts about that, and just in general, how they do nothing but lie. And so they're talking about that over at TikTok. I went to Blue Sky. Blue Sky is pretty much, it is getting more and more like X, formerly known as Twitter, but better. But better. And I just cannot wait until we all migrate over there. Because I just like it a whole lot better. It seems like it's more peaceful. You don't have the the trolls as much as you have them over on X, formerly known as Twitter, those bots. But I digress. And so I was over there, and the squatties over there are just talking about everything too, but they're also talking about Polo, talking about the new promo that was dropped by Netflix for that. They're talking a lot about that. And also I made my way over to X, formerly known as Twitter, and the squatters are doing the same thing. Everybody's kind of all over the place, and that's why today's read is going to be kind of all over the place. It really doesn't have a consistent theme. We're going to talk about everything because that's what the squatties are doing. They're talking about everything, but we are going to start with this, and this is a post that a squatty put up, and they just simply say polo, polo, polo is the word. I must say I did see the promo, and I will drop the link in my description box if anybody wants to go see it. I'll make sure I'll put that link in there so you can go see it. But it seemed like it's so good, and it's so sexy, and it has so many good looking people. I didn't realize Polo had so many good looking people. And it looks like it's going to be a little messy too. I kind of got that feeling that, it's some messiness involved in it, between the people. They're going to let us in a little bit on their personal lives. It's not just going to be like action or anything like that. It's almost going to be like a reality show. And I love it. I think I'm going to really, really like it. But like I said, this squatty said this. Polo, Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan's new documentary. The trailer is fire. It is. It is. It says by the 11th of December, I will be able to be a polo expert and enthusiast. I can't wait for this. I know. I know. And Netflix said this. It said Polo, a behind the scenes look at fast paced and glamorous world of sport, is coming to Netflix on December the 10th. Follow elite global players on and off the field, on and off the field. That's the sense that I got. We gonna get some messiness. We just not gonna get a whole lot of action or anything like that. We gonna get some messiness, and I love it. And it says on and off the field as they compete in high stakes U.S. Open Polo Championship. From executive producers Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Yes, it looks so good. Mm. And we all know good looking people plus messiness equals a hit. It equals a hit because that has been the formula time and time again. You put good looking people and some messiness together, you got a hit. And I think that's what they are doing. I got that sense. I'm just saying. I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty said this. This looks sexy. It does. It does. It said, guaranteed more people are going to watch this than the number of people who watch Slumlord William. To pretend. I swear, squatties, we are so messy. He's people who watch Slumlord William pretend to care about the homeless or Kate's Christmas Carol or whatever. I know. That Christmas Carol is a joke. It is. It's a joke. It's a joke. But I'm going to put this up because Squatties already called it. And this particular squatty said, we all know that the royal reporters are going to call Polo by Harry and Meghan disconnected and only made for the elites. And then they're going to applaud William for working 10 days a year and being paid dozens of millions with the taxpayer money for doing close to nothing. And so this particular squatty reposted that and said the royal reporters are predictable. And why? Look down at the bottom. Look down at the bottom. It's of course, they come in, they are so predictable. These flying monkeys, these minions, these toadies, of course, we know them so well. Because look what she said. It has all the parts to be a fab series, but watching rich people play a sport few know can be a hard sell. And based on this trailer, I'm not sure they pulled it off. So you can tell all of that from a trailer. You remember when they dropped the Harry and Meghan documentary, that trailer for that, and how they were just picking apart and analyzing, and none of it that they had talked about really made any sense because they were talking about something that they hadn't saw and they didn't know anything about. And that's the way it is with polo. We don't know anything about polo except what Netflix has said. And for as what I have saw, I think it's gonna be great. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I'm gonna put this up because everybody know that Prince Harry, they've been dropping promos all week. Harry has been dropping the promos, and you know he dropped that promo about Invictus Games, and Jelly Roll was going to be the closing. I think he's going to be the closing act. And they did this little skit on this promo about Jelly Roll giving Harry a tattoo. Well, do you not know these people have went back to the tattoo parlor, talking to the owner, trying to get some insight about what happened behind the scenes, what was Harry like, what went on, and wrote a story about it. People did because we all know if somebody Harry or Meghan or anybody from the left behinds breathe really, really hard, people is going to write a story about it. And I kind of like it because it is a dependable source for me. Because if something happened, I can always scurry over to people and find out what's going on. So I love that. So I'm not complaining about people, but it's just so funny to me. And it says, behind the scenes of Prince Harry's tattoo parlor video, he's got comedic chops, says shop owner. Exclusive, meaning that they spoke to the shop owner. And it says he hasn't said no. And he means that what Prince Harry hasn't said no to a tattoo, but he did not get a tattoo. But that's what they wanted to find out if Prince Harry had really gotten a tattoo. And the article says Prince Harry's mysterious visit to tattoo parlor during his September trip to New York left many questions unanswered, but the world now knows what was unfolding inside the Lower East Side shop. And boy, did they want to know because they were right over there. They scurried right over there to talk to him. And it says the Duke of Sussex 40 was filming a promo for his upcoming Invictus Games at Eastside Inc., one of the oldest tattoo shops in New York City. In this hilarious video, and then they talk about that. And then it says the artist behind the fake ink, yes, it's fake, is Josh Lord, the owner. And so he was the guy that they scurried back over there to talk to. You remember when Prince Harry was first seen over there and they came over there to ask him all kind of questions. And he was just the mum as he could be. And I thought, this man, as you look back, he is so good. If I was a celebrity, I would go to his tattoo parlor because he knows how to keep a secret. And now that he can talk, he's doing that. But before then, you didn't hear anything out of Josh. And it says, "This is all in honor of Invictus Game, Lord, exclusively tells people." Referring to the International Adaptive Sports event Prince Harry founded in 2014 for wounded and sick service personnel and veterans. When they asked me to be a part of it, I was thrilled. I had no idea I would get to be in the video as much as I was, and and he did a great job. Next up is Jelly Roll. Yes, he was on the red carpet. I'm gonna put this up. And of course, he was asked about Prince Harry because if you have ever met Prince Harry or been in the vicinity of Prince Harry, and people find that out, they are going to ask you what was he like. Just they're going to ask questions about Prince Harry. I don't know what it is, but people are so curious about what Prince Harry is like because everybody gets asked that same question. What was he like? What was he like? And of course, Jelly Roll told the truth and said he was a terrific person. Let's read this particular Squatty's tweet. It says, "Look at Jelly Roll promoting Invictus Games for Prince Harry, a genuine connection. What a contrast to Heidi Klum, who was forced to confess she had never heard of Prince William's earthworm before." She flew to South Africa because Willie asked her, loser, and also dropped $1 million in her bank account. That's why she was. And I love this squatty. I love us. We never called his project Earthshot, the real name. We call it Earthworm, Earth Flip, Earth Flop, Earth this, Earth anything we can think of except what the name is. And I get so tickled. And this one to me is so funny, Earthworm. But I have always called it Earthflop. I have never called it anything else, Earthflop. But that is so funny to me. And Heidi Klum, William will never ever live that down. The squatties will never ever forget that. We will always keep that in our pocketbook. And when we get ready for it or we need it, we gonna pull that one out when it comes to Earthflop. Because Heidi Klum did not even know what Earthflop was about. She was just there for the check, but not Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll went into a whole little speech about what Invictus was about and why it was important and and just how impressed he was with it. I love it. I love it. And I'm gonna put this one up, and it says Jelly Roll on Prince Harry. He is the guy. He was awesome. What a sweet guy. What they are doing with the Invictus Games is just one of the greatest arts of humanity, and I am honored to get to do it. Now, that is the way you answer a question, Heidi Klum. Not like, I just didn't know anything about it until Prince William contacted my people. I cannot, y'all. I cannot. Oh, I love it. All right, y'all. We're going to change gears a little bit because, like I said, this is going to be all over the place because the squatties are all over the place. And I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty is talking about this. It says, Prince William is copying his brother and his brother's life. We all know that. We all know that. That is what he was talking about in South Africa when he sit down and crossed his leg and told us that Kate didn't really have cancer. This is what he was talking about when he said he wanted to do royal with a little r. whatever that means. How you gonna be the king of the United Kingdom but do it with a small r? Well, he wants to live his life smaller like his brother, because if his brother had been envious of him and envious of his life and envious of him being king, he would have lived his life as big as possible, because basically that's what it's about for him. It is no good. Nothing is good. I mean, sugar doesn't taste as sweet, water is not as wet, and being king is not as great unless Harry is there to envy him. And that is the way it is for William. So, yes, this is what this is all about. It has always been about this. It goes on to say, when Prince Harry said that Slumlord Willie, I cannot help every time I laugh, I have to laugh about that. Every time one of the squatties call him Slumlord Willie, I just cannot. I cannot. But let me get through it. It says, when Prince Harry said that Slumlord Willie was jealous of his freedom, etc., he wasn't lying. Now, that's the truth. That's the truth. We have saw it play out in real time. William is obsessed with his brother. He is completely consumed with that obsession to the point where he is presently disappearing from sight. He is. And it says, I have noticed for a while now that he's even copying his brother's hand gestures. It's sickening. Really, I don't have to pay attention to that. We got to pay attention to that, because I would not put it past him. He has started to dress just like Harry. Him and Kate just morphed right into Harry and Meghan. Kate was just copying her so hard, it had got to be spooky for me. I was like, this is a single white female, that movie all over again. Harry's going to wake up one day in Montecito and Kate is going to be in the bed with. It was just that bad, to the point where they had to take her off of the world stage. And now William is the same thing. He is dressing like his brother that went and got him some brand new shoes and everything. I found this article. It's in She Knows. I found it on MSN, and it was on She Knows, and it says how Prince William could follow in Harry's footsteps with his plan for the royal family. And we know this is nothing but William copying Harry. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows how sick William is mentally when it comes to Harry. That's why downtown Tina Brown want Harry to come back, because they know that they can control William with Harry. Because if Harry go out and work, William would go out and work. Because have y'all noticed every time Harry goes somewhere or does something, William get out and work. He is in this eternal competition with his brother. And whatever Harry does, he wants to do it. And wherever Harry go, he wants to go. I have never saw anything like it. But it says Prince William continued to drop major hints that his time on the throne is going to look very different from King Charles' reign. No deference, no respect to Charles being still upright or anything. He has been talking about his reign, his reign, his reign. He want to get the keys to the kingdom so he can move to America. I'm just saying, y'all, don't be surprised by it, because I won't. It says the Prince of Wales is describing his plans as royal with maybe a smaller R. He didn't say maybe with a smaller R. He said with a smaller R. While that might sound like earth shattering news to royalists who prefer that things stay the same, William might be looking at Prince Harry for the blueprint on how it is executed. And we all know that is exactly the way it is, because that's all William has ever done. It's a video of Charles and Diana with the two small children. uh Harry is not even walking yet, and William is up some size. I think William looked like he maybe is three or so, and Harry is walking and going over places and stuff like that, and William is following behind. Harry was leading William around then, and it goes on today. William followed behind Harry. Harry has always been the lead, and William has always resented him for it, but yet and still, he follows right behind and copies him. I'm just saying. And it says, and Katie Nichols is the one saying that. Katie Nichols, author of The New Royal Queen Elizabeth's Legacy and the Future of the Crown, shared her thoughts about the possible royal upheaval on the Sun Royal show. One person who's probably sitting there thinking, this is what I have been saying all along, is the Duke of Sussex. She said, let's be more open. Let's show more empathy. Let's do things a little bit differently. It's especially the playbook Harry and Meghan asked for and were denied ahead of their exit. Well, we all know because they wanted to do it themselves. And of course, Harry and Meghan was too good at what they were doing. It says the British press has made it almost a sport to criticize the Sussexes. Where is the lie? They that's all they do. That's all they do. Harry and Meghan cannot breathe air in and out. They have a problem with that and how they do that. So, yes, and it's ridiculous. And it says, she said that the British press has made it almost a sport to criticize the Sussexes for their quasi royal tours, but their visits to Nigeria and Colombia proved to be successful goodwill visits that promoted culture and charity. The Daily Mail believed that Harry and Meghan has become rival royals with their business plan, but William obviously sees some value in how they are achieving their goals. But the problem, what he don't evidently see, is that he is not Harry. And Lord knows that mannequin that he married is not Meghan. They tried this. That's why they ran Harry and Meghan off. They got their vision boards all fixed up to copy Harry and Meghan, to copy and paste everything Harry and Meghan was doing at the time, being successful within the royal fold. So they kicked Harry and Meghan out of the royal fold and begun to do everything that Harry and Meghan was doing, to the point where Kate was wearing the same clothes, the same shoes. They were doing the exact same thing that Harry and Meghan was doing. And they wasn't successful. They took it to Jamaica and they got ran out of Jamaica. By the time they left, it was absolutely labeled a flop of a tour. So I don't understand why William think that he can go ahead on and copy and paste Harry's life and be a successful king doing that. He hadn't been successful so far. What make him think he gonna continue? He gonna be successful now? Harry's desire to spread the message of his successful Invictus Games and the couple's Archwell Foundation have proven to be a winner for them. Finally, they admit it. Finally, they admit it. They have been trying to sell Harry and Meghan's flop year. Y'all remember that? Talking about Harry and Meghan's flop year. And people were saying Harry and Meghan's flop year. If this is flopping, we'll take flop. Harry and Meghan kept on being so successful, they had to stop saying it was Harry and Meghan's flop year. But they admit that they were going to try that. They tried it, but it just could not stick because people was like, this is flopping. But it's good to see them actually acknowledge that Harry and Meghan are winners. And it said even their critics have learned that the couple's popularity resonates on a global scale. There it is. They have absolutely decided that they cannot take this lie any further. They have rode that lie as far as it can go, and they have decided to put it out of its misery because Harry and Meghan are successful, and they are successful, and they do resonate on a global scale. I love it, y'all. I love it. And it says, what a pity it is they've gone. Well, they're not coming back. And that is the rub. They are just realizing that the shine is not with the crown because that's what they thought. They thought the shine was with the crown. And when Harry and Meghan was kicked out from under that umbrella of the crown, that they no longer was going to have the shine. Nobody was going to care about Prince who was fifth in line and his wife. They didn't think that. But they underestimated the power of the shine that Harry has, that he inherited from his mother, and the shine that Meghan has that she inherited from her mother. They underestimated it, and I love that for them. And now they're absolutely having buyer's remorse. And I love it for them. I do. There is a hairy shaped hole in the monarchy at this time when they are at such a beleaguered circumstances. Journalist Tina Brown told the BBC in May, if only Queen Elizabeth II had accepted their half in, half out suggestion ahead of their departure, the palace might not be in a slimmed down monarchy mess. Well, we all know why they didn't accept that half in, half out. I thank God that they did not accept that half in, half out. But it's because the Queen was old and Charles and William was running things. And they wanted Harry and Meghan out. That is why they are not half in, half out. It was not the Queen's fault. The Queen was 96 years old. And they said it has come out that sometime the Queen was really, really confused. And Harry, you remember Harry when he was up in Canada and he made headlines by saying all he wanted, she was surrounded by people who was really going to take care of her. He expressed some concerns about the people that was around the Queen and if she was taken care of properly. The Queen was not in full control before she passed. She was not. They said it's even said that she did not want to be in Scotland. She did not want to pass in Scotland. But they were just doing what they wanted to do. And I believe those courtiers are way powerful than we can imagine because we had you remember this week I did a podcast on Charles saying, they were saying Tita Brown was saying that Charles's secretary might retire and Harry might have a chance of getting back into the fold because of him retiring. And I'm like, Charles is the king. He is the king. This is what Oprah said in that interview about the queen. She's the queen. She get to do whatever she wants to. But then Harry shyly and very, very cautiously said she has people to advise her. So I don't know who is in control here. Who is the puppet master here? Because that is weird to me. But I digress with all of that. But that's the reason why the queen is not responsible for Harry and Meghan not getting half in, half out. And Harry and Meghan is not responsible for half in, half out not coming to fruition. It was Charles and William. Charles, William, Kate, and Camilla wanted Meghan gone because Meghan was like Diana and they could not handle that spirit within that family. And we all know that to be true because they wanted to focus on them. And now to focus on them, and nobody cares. Camilla is greatly hated. She is hated. When they have a call-in show about Camilla, it is some nasty stuff being said about her. They don't like Charles. They really don't like Charles. I watched a call-in show that Storm Huntley, I think her name is, that she has a show with Jeremy Vine. I'm telling you, it was call after call after call saying he needs to pay some taxes and calling him all kinds of names. Charles is not popular. Camilla is not popular. William is not popular. Kate is not popular. They just not popular. And now that they have the spotlight, they can't handle it. I'm just saying. But it said Elizabeth may not have understood what the Sussexes was trying to accomplish, but Prince William is seeing the writing on the wall and he wants to keep the royal family relevant and modern. I'm sure he does, but he doesn't have the chops to do it. He doesn't have the talent to do it. He does not have the personality to do it. And he definitely does not have the shine. And he doesn't have a partner who is able to help him with any of it. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, we're gonna change the subject again because, like I said, it's this podcast is all over the place, and the squatties said that they was not finished with William. It's still a lot of dragging with William. His appearance. The squatties are just not having no mercy when it comes to William appearance, and so I'm gonna put this up. In all honesty, side of side, and you didn't know them at all, and they showed you this collage and told you among this photo there is someone who's ill. Who would you pick? Hands on heart, this ain't a malicious post. I think I know the one who is poorly, but the truth can't come out because it would threaten the future optics. I'm telling you, is Kate and Charles are supposed to be the one with cancer. And William is not looking good. He was at that diplomatic reception and he had that makeup in his hair. Y'all think William might have cancer? This might be William getting some kind of cancer treatment because William actually looked like he is the sick one. He really, really does. And they spraying on his hair. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. Cause it's looking pretty bad for William. And of course, the squatties have no pity. Don't give one, you know what, for William and Kate. So they posted this. They posted this. They said Kate is covering up William's cancer. And look how they fixed William. Now, I am not laughing about cancer. Cancer is so serious. But I'm laughing because we know Kate doesn't have it. And we don't know if William has it. So I'm not laughing about cancer. Don't get me wrong. I understand serious cancer, and I have lost the closest person to me in my life, my mother, to cancer. So cancer is not a funny thing. But we all know Kate doesn't have it. At least that's what William said. And William doesn't have it. Just because he's looking like he got it doesn't mean he has it. And if he is diagnosed with it and look the symptoms like he is, now if William came and said he had cancer today, I will believe that because he looks like he is in a fight. Not this particular one. Squatties are so messy and petty, I swear. But he looks like he's in a fight for something. I don't know if he in a fight for his life, his sanity, or a fight to get off the pipe. But he is in a fight. He really is. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I'm gonna put this up. Y'all remember this from yesterday? I went into it in detail yesterday about Sophie and Kate are on this crusade to rewrite history. That was the name of my podcast about them trying to rewrite history. Well, the Squatty said they are not through with them. They are not through dragging them for trying to rewrite history and try to, them playing in our faces. So this was the original post. It said the British media want you to ignore all the evidence to the contrary and believe that the three women in the front was kind to Meghan. Y'all remember that post? Well, this particular squatter went back and found a passage in the end game, and this particular squatter said this. She spent more time talking about Meghan than talking about her. Kate was obsessed with Meghan. She was obsessed with Meghan, and she was obsessed with running Meghan down, talking dirt all the time, talking vile about Meghan. It says on more recent occasion, Kate was jokingly shivered when Meghan's name had came up around her. She really thought she was doing something back then. And everybody was feeding into that nonsense where she would mention Meghan's name and go, ooh, ooh. Well, Kate, who has the last laugh now? You walking around looking like you are the wicked witch of the West, and somebody done poured some water on you because you are literally melting. But yet and still, you was on your high horse back then, wasn't you? But now it's a whole different story, and people are absolutely saying it out loud. And I love that for you. I do. You have been called out and found out. And I just love it for you. But yeah, back then you was a mean girl. You was a mean girl. Ooh, 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 doing that. Yeah. Okay. And now you are running from water because you are melting, melting, melting. And it went on to say that William and Kate was very active in 2019, vilifying Harry and Meghan to distract from affair rumors. And we remember that. We remember that. And they also was vilifying Harry and Meghan because they were so jealous of them. All right, let's go on to this. It says last time when Megan stepped out to support her friend's business, they talked about it for 3 days. 2 days ago, it was revealed why Harry got a tattoo, and they still talking about it today. I just got through talking about it. And it said Kate and Will don't get that kind of attention. It fizzles out the same day. And that's why they so mad. That's why they so mad. And let's put this up. It says Meghan unannounced surprise appearance got 10 million views, and they are still bitter. Queen. And they still bitter about that. And that is why the attacks just keep going on and on and on. And of course we got a new attack. We got a new one from Richard Maureen Eden. And he has wrote this article saying that he done did research to find out what the queen thought of Meghan. Now these people have no qualms in digging up their dead queen and using her to attack Meghan or Harry with. And all it does is diminish the respect for the queen. And I don't understand why they continue to do this, but they think it's an effective tactic to use the dead queen against Harry and Meghan. Can't they see nothing they have done so far has worked? They have thrown everything in Harry, everything in Meghan, and they're still welcome, they're still loved, they're still revered, and they're still popular. You lose, they win. Get over it. But he's out here still writing this nonsense. And he wrote what Queen Elizabeth really thought about Meghan. My extensive research and palace sources have unearthed troubling questions over her Prince Harry's behavior. Read my royal article and let me know what you think via Daily Mail UK. Well, I'm telling you, if some people had some thoughts on this, and I'm sure Richard is going to have some thoughts after these people got through telling him exactly what they needed to hear. In other news, broad media outlets have seen Prince Harry doing great things. So, normal routine, they attack his biracial wife, Meghan Markle, lying and making up hate articles about Meghan to promote their tax funded masters. Don't fall for the BS 24/7, Monday through Sunday. They publish lies. And where is the lie? And this is all made up. And it's all because of Harry keep making those home runs. That ball keeps going over the fence every time Harry is up to bat. And his visit to Canada this week has been a home run. And this is what Richard Maureen Eden come up with. Now he gonna ignore everything else that's going on, but he wants to attack Meghan as usual when he ought to be going somewhere and finding him some decent shoes that are focusing on Meghan. Because Meghan is gone and she is thriving and she has nothing for him. And I'm just saying. But I'm going to put this up. I think the royal family hates Queen Elizabeth. They do. They do. Because she makes them look bad. This bunch that's left, these left behinds, they hate anybody that's better than them. And the Queen was better than them. Why do they continue to push the narrative that she was a mean, nasty, petty, evil, racist biatch? And that's what they're doing. And you can't tell me that Richard Eden came up with this all by himself to trash the Queen without guidance, without direction from the palace. And if I had to pretty much, it could come from both palaces because Charles absolutely hates his mother. He has always hated the Queen. And we saw it in the Dumbleby book. So it could be from Buckingham Palace or Kensington Palace because William is not, he's not above using the dead queen to his advantage to try to somehow use the dead queen against Harry. He is not above that, not at all. What reason do they have? But surely everyone with a functioning brain knows this kind of report doesn't make Elizabeth II look good. And they don't care. They have no idea that people see right through this nonsense. We see you and we see what you're trying to do. I'm just saying. So the queen was an evil, nasty biatch who treated the only person of color to marry into her immediate family atrociously. The only person who was a self made career woman, highly educated, smart, eloquent, humanitarian, hard worker, wealthy, was treated like scum of the earth. So you're saying that when Harry and Meghan said the family didn't treat them well or welcome Meghan or give her a shot, they were in fact telling the truth. Oh, thank you for clarifying. Yeah, they was telling the truth. And he is absolutely contradicting himself. He contradicting Big Back Becky Big Back Becky just wrote an article saying how much they just welcomed Meghan with open arms and just loved on her and kissed her in the mouth. And everybody got along and they held hands and sang Kumbaya. But yet and still here Richard Eden is saying that the Queen had all these negative things to say about Meghan. They don't know. I'm telling you, pick a lane because this is such nonsense. Because we saw with our own eyes how the Queen treated Meghan. Meghan was the only one out of any of those women, out of Sophie, out of Kate, out of Camilla, out of any of them that went on the train with the Queen. You know, they can say whatever they want to about the Queen, but we saw how the Queen treated Meghan in real time with our own eyes. The Queen took Meghan on the train. She had never took any of those other people. The ones she said, you know, they say that the Queen had so much faith in and just absolutely respected her guidance and everything. Sophie, the Queen never took Sophie on the train. She never took Camilla and she never took Kate. And that is the reason why they was feeling some kind of way. And then when all those pictures came out that the Queen and Meghan was getting along so well, and the Queen gifted her earrings that looked just like the earrings that she had. Yes, the Queen gave the Queen gave Meghan earrings like hers. So they can miss me about this. And look how the Queen made sure she met every one of her great grandchildren. She made sure she met Lily. Charles didn't make sure, he don't try to make any kind of arrangements to see his grandchildren. But the Queen made sure she saw them. And I just love that about the Queen. And that's one reason why I kind of give the Queen some grace. I do. I kind of give her some grace because at the end, she was not in charge, and we saw that. And she had a snake coming up the rear in Charles. And that is why I just find so much pleasure. I get so much pleasure out of William snaking Charles, treating Charles the way he is treating him. I love it. I love it. Showing him no respect and no deference. He's been talking about his kingdomship ever since the Queen died. And Charles deserves that because the way he treated the Queen. Because the Queen, if the Queen didn't like Meghan, why did the Queen order her secretary to write a letter saying that she wanted Harry and Meghan to have security? Why? The Queen really loved Harry. She really did. And Harry really loved his grandmother. And you could tell that they had that special relationship between each other. And she loved Meghan. I believe that. And he can write whatever he wants to, all his nastiness and everything. And all he's doing is tarnishing the Queen's legacy. And they should be ashamed of themselves. But am I surprised? Not at all. Not at all. This up and it says, let's ignore the evaporating William. And he is absolutely disappearing right in front of our eyes. But ignore that. Ignore that, Richard Eden. Just forget about that. Just save all your smoke for Meghan, who is 5,000 miles away minding her business. And then it says, the snub Kate Middleton. And we all know what they mean by that. Her name was not on that reef. They ain't said nothing about that. Only an eagle-eyed squatty saw that. That story has only existed on social media. Nobody has touched that story. Not even Jack Royston has not written a story about it. None of them have. It's like a hot stove. They will not touch it. They know something is going on there. And then all of a sudden, Kate not showing up at diplomatic reception that she shows up to every year. All of a sudden now. But they won't touch that. They want to focus on this couple who has been gone 5 years and that minds their own business, has said nothing to them. But this is what Richard Eden want to focus on. And then it said the Wells divorce or separation. Focus on that. The precancerous cells that were sold as cancer. Don't want to touch that. Don't want to touch that. Charles and William fleecing off of charities they front to represent. The rotting houses William rents out and only concentrate on the couple that left 5 years ago. William faked a full farm shop video when Kate did a disappearing act, and y'all look the other way. The invisible contract is so visible, and the shambles that is the royal family currently, and you are concentrating on Meghan and Harry, who left 5 years ago. Move on. You really need to release yourself of the hard. I can't say that. I can't say that. These squatties are bad. You need to relieve yourself of the, you know what, on you have for Harry and Meghan, because my God, it makes you seem like you are a effing weasel. What is eating William? What is eating him? Something is eating him. He is disappearing. Kate was rejected and snubbed from the party a few nights ago. William kicked her name off the reef, and as time goes on, looks like William is the one who about to drop, as opposed to the other two fakers. So Richard, do us a favor and F off, please. Now that was a post. Squatties, what can I say? What can I say? I'm going to put this up, and this is by Graham Smith. He is a Republican, and he usually comes really, really hard. He comes for the neck of the royal family. He don't care who they are. He wants them all gone. And he says this: someone unqualified to hold a senior academic position, giving her sister-in-law an unearned degree. Why? What possible benefit does this do anyone other? Comfort more gongs and titles on these people who do so little. Where is the lie? Now, Anne is the chancellor of this particular university, London University, University of London. What kind of qualifications does Anne have to be the chancellor of the University of London? I'm just saying. But yet, here she is because she came out of the birth canal. And now she is giving an honorary degree to a woman who has never really held a job. The only job she has ever done, and she do it well now, you got to give her props, is the horizontal mumbo. Now she know how to do that one. I got to give her props because it has brought her all the way to the top. But it still doesn't make her deserving of a doctorate degree. That's all these people do is award themselves. Charles went to D-Day with all these veterans. All these people had made the ultimate sacrifice or had sacrificed so much. And he went there in a uniform with a chest full of medals. And there were Anne with her chest full of medals. And even Andrew was there with his medals. This is what you're dealing with. These people, I'm just saying. I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty said this: Camilla, receiving an honorary doctorate for being a homewrecker. all, all these made up BS to make these feel clowns feel relevant. Will she get a doctorate of being a snake? Queen Diana all day, every day. That's what I'm saying. And this is what Camilla get. They have to turn off them comments because people be commenting for her. And is it undeserved? Absolutely not. She deserves every bit of it. She is a horrible, horrible human being. And I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatter said this: Camilla Parker Bowles being awarded an honorary doctorate of literature because she read a novel at bedtime. Britain, clown country. I cannot with these folks. I cannot. And this is the last one, and it says, Cam's never worked a day in her life. She was always a kept woman, just like Kate. Cam has done a secretarial course and worked for just under a week after she had showed up late at work after having a party after having partied an entire weekend. She was promptly fired. The only job she has ever had. She showed up late after partying all weekend and was fired. And ever since then, she's been a kept woman. She has made her way on her back. That's Camilla. But yet and still, she got a doctorate degree yesterday. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I'm going to put up this. I got to find a clown picture of Camilla because Charles is a clown and William is a clown and Camilla is a clown. I got to find a clown picture of her because I know it's one out there because she is a clown. All right, I'm going to put up this one. And we all know that if they mess with Harry and Meghan, we coming for that neck. We just are. Because that's what the Sussex Squad do. All right, y'all. Bye.